Welcome everyone to Friday Night SmackDown. I'm your host Jitch. You're watching SmackDown. It's Friday. W12 Universe was what I meant to say, not Friday Night SmackDown. So I kind of messed up the intro. We're kicking things off here tonight with another light heavyweight championship division collision. Last week we saw Evan Bourne, the champion, in a competitive match with Jetstar. They have been getting sick and tired. The Nemesis and Jetstar, the Disciples of Darkness, they say that their time is coming. They've had enough of being slept on, being ignored, being wasted here on SmackDown. The Road Warriors can complain all they want about never getting an opportunity, but these guys have had even less, and they demand that it's time they start getting some recognition as the top tier talents that they feel they are. I'm not necessarily speaking on their behalf, I'm just saying. These guys want opportunities, they want in on that six-man ladder match that's coming at WrestleMania, and they're trying to get that little bit of extra opportunity, and it's a good goal to set themselves for. The Light Heavyweight Championship is a good starting point for two guys that have been around for a while and not quite yet found themselves. Maybe sit the tag division out for a little bit, try to go for that Light Heavyweight title, and that's what they're doing now. Of course, Tyson Kidd, an experienced former light heavyweight champion, a man who's just come off the heels of a tough rivalry with Christian, a man who has had a little bit of a breakdown since losing the 2011 Royal Rumble and then last week losing to Kofi Kingston. That wasn't exactly the way I think Christian was expecting to kick off a new year, but unfortunately for him, that's just the way the cookie crumbles sometimes. Well, we're moving forwards towards the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view, but we've also got to focus when it comes to light heavyweights on WrestleMania. The guys are trying to get their spots booked in for the WrestleMania Light Heavyweight Championship ladder match. These are not officially qualifiers. The first qualifier takes place next week on SmackDown. There'll be a series of qualifiers over the next 5 weeks to determine who the 6 men are going to be, and at one point in those next 5 weeks as well, Evan Bourne will have to defend the Light Heavyweight Championship against his former partner, former champion Kofi Kingston, in a one-on-one match. But for now, Nemesis is going to try and overcome Tyson Kidd. Of course, Kidd's got to set his sights on the Light Heavyweight title as well. He's got to accept that Christian is that little bit above him. The Tag Team Championships are getting a little bit further behind him. Tyson Kidd's got to focus on Tyson Kidd now and what the future can hold for him. People very curious to see just what kind of land of opportunity SmackDown may open up to be in the coming weeks for a lot of these smaller built superstars. But one match I'm very curious about tonight is our main event on SmackDown. The Miz, the WWE Champion, the WWE Tag Team Champion, competing in a triple threat match against 2 mystery opponents. We found out last week Mark Henry, John Cena, and Shawn Michaels all headed for the Elimination Chamber. The Miz's WWE Championship on the line. 2 more participants to be found out. They'll be facing the Miz in a triple threat match tonight. But last week John Cena was victorious. This week those 3 will be sitting it out. Next week, big 6-man tag team match will be taking place. We don't exactly know the sides though just yet. Nice veteran-like counter from the young Tyson Kidd. Watch it. A big German suplex connecting by Tyson Kidd on Nemesis. Still to come tonight as well, we've also got a number 1 contender possibility. Justin Gabriel going to go up against John Morrison. If he beats Morrison tonight, it's an Intercontinental Championship opportunity for Justin Gabriel next week at Elimination Chamber in just 9 days. That is a big opportunity for Justin Gabriel, a former Intercontinental Champion, a former Light Heavyweight Champion, a former Tag Team Champion. Could be the first man to have ever held the United States... Sorry, did I say Intercontinental? I meant former United States Champion. Could be the first man to have ever held the United States and Intercontinental Championships. Could be a really big breakout moment for Tyson Kidd. Not Tyson Kidd, Justin Gabriel. I knew what I meant. And John Morrison going to be going at it alone, though, you'd have to imagine tonight. The Miz has got a big match coming up. He doesn't even know who he's facing. That's going to make things all the more tougher. But also tonight, the Road Warriors, They are still tired of being slept on, whether the Disciples of Darkness like hearing it or not. They want their opportunities, and they are stepping up and coming for them. And that is why tonight the Road Warriors going to face off against one of the biggest and the best tag teams to continue to try and prove to Teddy Long that they deserve a tag title shot sooner than later. They're going to face off against R-Truth and Booker T, 2/3 of the crew. That is a match I look forward to seeing take place. Right now, though, Nemesis really laying into Tyson Kidd, connecting with the big knee to the head, and really all over Kidd. Tyson Kidd's got a lot of fight in him. But Nemesis just seems to be becoming more and more desperate, and I think that might honestly be benefiting him and Jetstar right now. The Disciples of Darkness, they're becoming a little bit more obsessed, a little bit more fixated on the idea of finally picking up some important victories, and it's about time too. These guys have been sitting fancy on the roster for about a year, just doing next to nothing. You know, Nemesis at one point was ECW champion. I think he had a pretty decent run as champion. He tried making that title into a world title. His dream did come true just after after his reign. Not too long after his reign. Someone clearly saw some truth in the words he spilled. It's just he isn't recognized as a former world champion despite having held the ECW Championship. In the ring goes Tyson Kidd and Nemesis. Gonna connect with, yep, the big leg drop on the apron. I don't even remember giving him that move. Now that looks like something I'd give him. That's a little bit more up my alley. That too. Anything to do with kicks and suplexes. German suplex connecting. Is this going to be it? Tyson Kidd. Oh! Nemesis that one step closer to finally picking up a victory for the first time since coming to SmackDown. Say since yeah, that's actually an important point. Since the Disciples of Darkness came over here to SmackDown, they've gone the opposite of undefeated. They've gone defeated. they're in a defeated streak. Oh, nice DDT. That was really fast impact. Tyson Kidd just shoving him off. Goes in for a crucifix, but doesn't cover him. Could have been a mistake. Nemesis, hold on a second. Are we looking at it? Oh, got him. Is that going to be enough to get the job done? He actually won something. My goodness. It can happen.
Here's your winner, representing the Disciples,
Nemesis finally picks up a victory. And what I think was his SmackDown return, to be fair. I think he was drafted to Raw earlier in the year. Wow. It finally happened. Well, will he be able to continue this little bit of momentum he's picked up as the road to WrestleMania continues? Nemesis wants in the Light Heavyweight Championship 6-man ladder match. This could be a good starting point. I guess we'll have to wait and see what the future holds for him. But he did finally win something tonight, and that's got to feel pretty damn good. As we move on to our next match of the night, John Morrison, the Intercontinental Champion, up against one of the most accomplished breakout stars of 2010, Justin Gabriel, who is looking for an Intercontinental Championship shot.
following contest is scheduled for one fall. Approaching the ring from Los Angeles, California, weighing 224 pounds, he is the Intercontinental Champion, John Morrison.
This is a championship with a little bit of blue on it. This man wears it. John Morrison, the Intercontinental and WWE Tag Team Champion. That is a man who has definitely cemented himself in the history books as a success, following the footsteps of his tag team partner, The Miz, who around this time period last year was doing the exact same thing, holding the Intercontinental Championship and WWE Tag Team Championship. John Morrison really does continue to impress, as does his tag team partner, The Miz. SmackDown has really been kind of the A show, I have to admit. It's definitely one of the ones I look forward to every week. And, you know, credit where due, maybe it's these two that are making it happen. Maybe they're the reason why. John Morrison and The Miz. But here tonight, John Morrison got to go at it alone against Justin Gabriel. And we all know who Gabriel's going to have in his corner. So this could be a mistake, having him come out alone.
Accompanied by Brie from Cape Town, South Africa, weighing 223 pounds, Justin Gabriel.
I'll never forget the way Justin Gabriel returned to action after suffering an injury back in December, just a couple weeks ago. He absolutely tore Kofi a new one. That was intense. The beatdown he gave that guy. I think Justin Gabriel really showed us all a different side of him, and I think the future is very bright for Justin Gabriel, if I do say so myself. You may or may not agree, and that both outcomes there are fine, but I think Gabriel has got a very, very good future ahead of him. He's shown just that. Fun fact, I also occasionally get a copyright claim for his entrance theme, so, you know. Still love the guy, though. Doesn't matter to me. Gabriel is very innovative with his offense, as is John Morrison, which is why I think these two against each other is such a fantastic match.
This Justin Gabriel is so athletic. He's fast, agile, and willing to go high risk to get the win.
John Morrison has to know at Elimination Chamber, if he has to defend that Intercontinental Championship, that The Miz isn't going to be in his corner. And for that reason alone, I think he's going to want to try and make sure it's some kind of stipulation that benefits him in that regard. Because otherwise, he's got the same issue he's got here tonight, where Brie Bella's in Gabriel's corner, and things become a little bit more difficult for John Morrison. Especially when you got things like that going on, right in front of the referee, who surprisingly has a high tolerance, probably for the fact that only a few of his brain cells ever seem to be working at one time. I don't think there's been a referee on earth I've hated more than WWE 12 referee. He is the worst referee of them all. Oh, off the ropes goes Justin Gabriel.
John Morrison is proficient in parkour. Parkour being the art of movement, allowing Morrison to do things.
Don't underestimate the Intercontinental Champion. He slips some weeks, but others, the guy is on fire. Let's not forget that ladder match. Well, that was a sneaky move. Justin Gabriel, clearly Lord Brie Bella in the way there. And John Morrison just got disqualified by accidentally connecting with a single strike to Brie Bella. And just like that, Justin Gabriel has a victory over John Morrison and is the #1 contender to the Intercontinental Championship. You hate to see it, but that's exactly the kind of game Justin Gabriel plays when he's got Brie Bella in his corner. And just like that, we've got another match confirmed for Elimination Chamber. Not a great match, not even a good match, not even an okay match. But you know what? Gabriel did exactly what he set himself out to do. Booker T teaming up with R-Truth tonight, the Crew. We're going to try and make a statement. They've never really set their sights on championship gold before. From here tonight, the Road Warriors most certainly have. And it's up to the Crew to try and stop them from getting one step closer to a tag team championship opportunity. And in turn, maybe get themselves one step closer to a tag team championship opportunity. I guess we'll see what happens. This is going to be an interesting match. Booker T teaming up with R-Truth. Something we've not really seen much of in the past is these two as a tag team. It's generally R-Truth and Mark Henry that you see teaming up. Obviously, Henry's a little bit busy right now. He's got a big match coming up in 9 days to focus on.
Representing the Crew from Charlotte, North Carolina, weighing 235 pounds, R-Truth.
I hope one day we'll get to hear Truth come down to some music again. I hope one day we'll see a happier R-Truth than this. It was almost a year ago now that Mark Henry really just changed this man. He really broke, upset, hurt this man, and he just became a completely different guy. R-Truth is, I wouldn't say necessarily full of hate, but there's just something about him that's just not been the same for such a long time now. The Crew are one of those rare occasions where a group actually made it from 2010 to 2011, still a group. If you look at the history of groups that we had in 2010, a lot of them didn't make it through the single year that they were together. And here's another one that's definitely made it through 2010, no problem.
And their opponents, Road Warrior and Road Warrior Animal.
Isn't that calling them the Road Warriors? Okay. I don't know why I introduced them individually like that. I could have just said Hawk and Animal, the Road Warriors. That would have sounded a lot better if you ask me. Well, Hawk and Animal, the Road Warriors, are coming on down to the ring tonight for this tag team match. And as I said before, and I've said on many occasions, they are obsessed with the idea of getting a tag team championship opportunity. They're outraged that they still haven't been given that championship opportunity. I mean, they've worked hard, they've won a lot of matches, and, you know, I agree, they definitely do deserve it, but I can also see Teddy Long's perspective. 4 wins just still ain't gonna cut it. They gotta keep getting more and more and more, and it ain't gonna change until they get enough.
Booker T set to kick things off in this one. Big move coming.
That was an impressive suplex.
I don't know what enough is, but they gotta get quite a few under their belt still.
What has to be going through his head here?
You know, you look at this veteran tag team of the Road Warriors, 2 living legends teaming up against each other. Definitely in better physique and stature than that of, say, Demolition back on Raw before they end up retiring this Monday. They look like they could still go. They look like they could absolutely still capture those tag team championships if given the opportunity, and the proof's in the pudding. You know, Demolition not able to pick up a victory once as a tag team since their debut. The Road Warriors, they've been on a tear. The only loss they ever suffered, they made up for. They've beaten the guys that beat them now. That peace has been made as far as they're concerned. Now, why aren't they given more opportunity? What is it that Teddy Long has got against these two that he just won't give them a shot at The Miz and Morrison?
And we're witnessing more amazing moments here tonight.
He's got evil intentions.
Set him up on the top rope. Booker T. They're going to do something big here. Got him. Former Intercontinental Champion Booker T. Stepping things up in the game right now. This tag team matchup. I really like that attire. Well done, Saria. Booker T's is great. Into the corner. R-Truth gonna come into this one? No. Booker T turned him upside down. I tell you, they've never really seen like the biggest of heights just yet, but the Crew have definitely been a unit that, in my opinion, has really stuck together strongly since they've started. You know, other than John Cena, who they gave the boot to eventually, these guys have shown absolutely no cracks amongst them. Whether it be from fear of what Mark Henry will do to them if they try to turn on them or what, I don't know, but they have always stuck together, the 3 of them. Maybe it just goes to show, you know, people like the Misfits in the United Kingdom, they got it all in one. They got that big success story, they got their moment, and then they kind of played it out and they were finished before they knew it. The moment, then all they had to do was go down from there. They were at the top of the world. And I think that may have maybe been too much for them to handle, whereas the Crew, they've been very careful with how they've approached things. They've gone for things only when it felt right, if that makes a lot of sense to people.
There's the tag.
Still plenty more for them to achieve. It seems to be working out for them, if that is in fact the case.
And now he's back out on the apron.
And we're laying into R-Truth.
And he fights out of it. He breaks the hold.
Oh, man. Hurting the ribs and the lower back. That just takes all of the power out of it.
Animal.
Oh,
Animal.
Animal connects.
Corner goes Truth and manages to fight back here. It's to become our main event triple threat match. The Miz up against two mystery opponents who will be facing him for the WWE Championship inside the Elimination Chamber. And The Miz really needs to pick up that victory tonight to stick it to both of them and show that he's ready for John Cena, Mark Henry, and Shawn Michaels, who we already know have been confirmed for the Elimination Chamber.
He gets the tag.
Big six-man tag team match next week. Very interesting match. I'm so curious to see who ends up on what sides. Who's going to end up being partnered up with The Miz. Right now, I have no idea. I mean, it all depends on who those other two are, I suppose. I said before, I feel like John Morrison would be a natural fit. The guy is definitely up there as an undeniable contender. In a way, I'd feel kind of sad to see the Miz and Morrison fall apart, though. Those two have been very solid as a tag team. Truth gonna try and lift up. Oh, Animal for a suplex, but thumb to the eye. Sometimes that's exactly what you need to turn the match around. Felt very Gorilla Monsoon as I said that.
What a hellaciously physical match these gladiators have put.
Truth up to his feet and Hawk showing off his strength.
And the Road Warrior decides it's
I
time
think
to
he's
talk a
signaling.
little smack.
Are we gonna see the Doomsday Device?
Here we go. And now his partner comes in.
I think we are. Hawk with Truth up on his shoulders. Animal. Doomsday Device on R-Truth. Referee. Turn around. Turn around, ref. Here's the cover. And Booker T just manages to break it up thanks to the referee. Once again, slacking. Can we at least employ a different referee? We've got the same one on all three brands. Enough with him already.
Oh, what timing. A few more seconds and this would have been over.
The amount of matches this guy has screwed up.
And he fights his way out.
right on the spine.
He drops the elbow.
When Animal gets in this state of mind, it's downright scary.
Truth's in trouble now.
Stop by Animal. Well scouted.
Ooh, very nice reversal by R-Truth. Really showing what he's made of.
Into the spine buster.
Referee looking dazed and confused as always. I'm not surprised. Here's a cover by Animal. Hawk with the save, and there you go. That was enough. The Road Warriors laying in to Truth and Booker of the Crew. Come on, Teddy. Give him a tag title shot. Tell them they deserve it. Let it be the big one at WrestleMania. The tag titles have to be on the line at WrestleMania. Let these two be the ones to get that shot. Road Warrior, Hawk, and Animal victorious as they continue their quest to getting a tag title shot. When will it come to an end? That's what I want to know. As we move forward, though, up next, we got ourselves a triple threat match. The Miz and two mystery opponents who will join him in the Elimination Chamber for his WWE Championship. He's got to get that big victory tonight over the both of them. But can he? Well, it depends on who it is, and we find that out next. I kind of messed up. Unknown? I've never seen that before. I kind of messed up and simulated the main event of Universe Motor. I had to book this one in exhibition. So it shouldn't matter. It just means there'll be no cutscenes, like, guaranteed, and the HUD might not be there at all. But I just thought I'd be completely open and honest. I screwed up and pressed the wrong button after the last match. So it shouldn't affect anything. To my knowledge, it shouldn't affect anything. But the WWE Undisputed and WWE Tag Team Champion The Miz, who has really taken to mocking The Rock just lately. A man who has been determined to get his hands on that WWE Championship around the waist of The Miz for a long time now. The Miz taking it upon himself to mock. Who's going to be the first man that steps up? Oh boy. We've been wondering what he'd do when he returned.
From Victoria, Texas, weighing 252 pounds, Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Stone Cold Steve Austin. The first man to be revealed as The Miz's opponent in this triple threat elimination match. A man who will step into the Elimination Chamber for The Miz's WWE Championship, and the man who The Miz has surpassed as the longest reigning WWE Champion. Needless to say, I think this is a guy with a big chip on his shoulder right now when it comes to The Miz. A guy who wants his championship back. And definitely doesn't have an Undertaker looming in the background to take that away from him. Did you see that stare? Right at The Miz for a second there. Stone Cold Steve Austin was locked on, and he still is. Not turning his back on The Miz. We still got one more participant in this match, though. Who's that going to be? Stone Cold Steve Austin is not taking his eyes off of The Miz. It's the first time he's set foot in the ring since the victory. Oh, this is just The Miz's past coming back to haunt him. The triple threat field has just been set, as has the Elimination Chamber. We now know that at the Elimination Chamber, for The Miz's WWE Championship, it's going to be The Miz, Mark Henry, John Cena, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Shawn Michaels, and Triple H. Oh boy, I do not like The Miz's chances at Elimination Chamber. Triple H has been dying to get his hands back on the WWE Championship, a title that he is the first ever holder of. This is the first time we have seen this man make his entrance in months. Triple H returned with a vengeance. He wants that title. He wants The Miz. But there's one man on the shelf right now at the hands of Triple H that I'm sure hasn't forgiven or forgotten, and that is The Rock. The Rock would undoubtedly have been in the Elimination Chamber. He could have even been the guy going into the chamber, the champion, if it weren't for the injuries that Triple H gave that man. The Rock will be back on the SmackDown following the Elimination Chamber. I can't wait to see who turns out the champion at Elimination Chamber. I really can't. I got a bad feeling that The Miz's reign is over, though. That is not a favourable playing field for The Miz. He is a lucky man who has gotten through some really tough matches. But I don't even know how he's going to survive this triple threat. You know Stone Cold Steve Austin and Triple H are both going to want to get their hands on him. The history between Stone Cold Steve Austin and The Miz is the reason The Miz is the WWE Champion. And the history between Triple H and The Miz is the reason Triple H was injured.
There are so many ways that Triple H can dissect an opponent.
Elimination Chamber is going to be very personal for these two men, and I think Teddy Long knew exactly what he was doing when he booked this triple threat match.
In a match like this, I'd want my opponents to get as worn down.
You got two guys in black and one in bright pink. I think one's a target.
The excitement of the air is palpable.
Well, next week the playing field has been set for that 6-man tag team match. The Miz will be paired up with the team of John Cena and his former tag team partner, Cena that is, Mark Henry, as they face off against Stone Cold Steve Austin and DX in a 6-man tag team match. But here tonight, we got this match on our hands. And just like these last 2 weeks on SmackDown, next week's 6-man tag team match is an elimination 6-man tag team match. Really want to hype up the Elimination Chamber as much as possible. I don't know what the bigger match is. Miz, Henry, Cena, Michaels, Triple H, and Austin, or Brock Lesnar, Randy Orton, CM Punk, Edge, Sheamus, and still one more guy to go. I don't know which one I like the sounds of more. No offense to ECW. I do think that's a pretty big match, but I don't think it compares to the other two. The road to WrestleMania is always known as a bumpy one. I'm trying to remember what happened last year at Elimination Chamber. I can't remember if we had both titles change or just one. Let me look this up. Oh, that's the wrong one. Ooh. I'm full of yawns today. Elimination Chamber last year, we saw Ezekiel Jackson defeat Yoshitatsu for the ECW title. And Michelle McCool defeat Beth Phoenix. Wow, a year later and we're having a rematch between them. That's actually kind of cool. She defeated Beth Phoenix to capture the championship too, so ooh, that could be some foreshadowing. Melina defeat Mickie James. No, sorry, Melina defeat Natalya to win the Divas Championship. Okay. Miz defeating Cody Rhodes to retain the Intercontinental Championship. Shawn Michaels defeated Triple H, Jack Swagger, Batista, Evan Bourne, and Kane to win the WWE Championship. I remember now. Yes, Shawn Michaels captured it. And The Undertaker defeated Randy Orton, CM Punk, The Rock, Chris Jericho, and Big Show to win the World Heavyweight Championship. So, 2 title changes last year. No one actually retained inside the Elimination Chamber. Mamma mia. Me neither. I don't think. Just leave it at that.
Now, who does a methodical pace benefit, King?
Well, whenever the dominating competitor takes his time, it gives everybody a chance to catch their breath. So I don't know.
Who does a methodical pace benefit? Not me.
It's been some night here on Friday Night SmackDown, and we're still rolling. Miz has proved time and again that he's not only the best brawler and
Oh, sorry, my eyes are burning. I've yawned so many times in this recording, and I don't know why. I woke up like 5 hours ago. I should be wide awake by now. But I'm just full of yawns. I've been drinking a lot of energy drinks again, and they usually make me feel like shit, so they taste great, but they don't usually help all that much. They just kind of make me feel more fatigued. Coffee's more of my thing for getting me going, and I haven't had one of those today, so that's probably what it is. I do wonder what the outcome of this elimination triple threat match will be. I can't help but wonder. Who will walk away at this match on top?
Man, this is one of those matches you just like to sit back and enjoy watching. And did you hear the impact on that kick?
Big fist to the back of the leg, taking the Miz down. Say this will be a competitive triple threat match. Both Stone Cold Steve Austin and Triple H, they know they're going to need to get in each other's throats, get in each other's faces, wear each other down.
Triple H is the measuring stick of the WWE.
I just really can't help but wonder what the state of the Miz's WWE Championship reign is going to be at Elimination Chamber. That man has been champion for such a long time. I want to find out how long he's been champion for, despite not having the wiki to tell me. I know how to find out, hang on. Championships. Last updated for 9th of January 2011. So on the 9th of January, he was at 98 days. So this will be the 10th of February. So 9th of January, so add another 22 days for the rest of the month. So it's 31 days in January. And then add another 10 for this episode. So 32 days on top of 98. And this is 130 days into his WWE Championship reign. And he has successfully defended that championship. Just a moment. I want to know how many times now. I think he's defended it more than Stone Cold did. Oh no, four times he's defended it, which is the same amount as Stone Cold Steve Austin. So he's tied for most defenses, but he's held it for a very long time. 130 days here tonight. When he steps into the Elimination Chamber, it'll be 139 days as... Wait, that doesn't make sense. Or it'd be 140. I must have miscalculated at some point, because it would be 140 days. Maybe Elimination Chamber takes place on the 20th, not the 19th. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, so I think it'll be 140 days on the dot as WWE Champion. And I do wish him the best of luck, but I have a feeling that might be where it comes to an end. Miz still holds the record for longest reigning Intercontinental Champion in history with 180 days. And the record for most Tag Team Championship victories with 3 WWE Tag Team title victories. And the record as the first ever Triple Crown Champion. So I say, win or lose at Elimination Chamber, the man is still one of the biggest and the best we've got in the business. Triple H dropped that spine buster on The Miz, and surprisingly it wasn't elimination. That very much could have been the end right there and then. But it seems like Stone Cold Steve Austin just wanted to get his hands on Triple H. Remember, this is, as I said before, elimination style. Miz is doing whatever it takes to try and outlast these guys. He tried to injure Triple H again a few weeks back on SmackDown, and I don't know why Stone Cold would interfere. I guess he wants to be the one to eliminate The Miz. I mean, he's got a lot of bad blood with The Miz, and he's never actually had that moment of redemption. Stunner! He got him. But look at that! Immediately, Triple H getting in the way. These two are fighting over who gets to eliminate The Miz. Triple H now going to drop Stone Cold Steve Austin with his pedigree, and of course The Miz isn't going to get in the way. Uh-oh. Okay. That might be The Miz's best weapon at Elimination Chamber. He might outlast everyone simply by being hated by everyone so much that they all fight over who wants to eliminate him. Because he's definitely crossed Shawn Michaels in the past, and he's definitely crossed Cena in the past. The only man in that match I've not seen The Miz deal with is Mark Henry. Mark Henry hates everybody. Wow, that was a really beautifully executed lift into that skull-crushing finale, but Triple H, using every little bit of motivation that he's got off of that busted open face and everything to get right back to his feet.
How much more extreme will this match become?
Stone Cold Steve Austin all over The Miz. We've seen, we've seen a lot of power bombs back in his day as WWE Champion.
Triple H looking for some big impact.
Miz managing to bust Triple H open with that kneeling DDT of his. Triple H, where's he going?
Under the rules of a no disqualification match, the referee
I think the Miz just got busted open. I think I saw a slight trickle of blood there as he was dropped from that DDT by Stone Cold Steve Austin in the steel chair. Coming into play here in this no disqualification triple threat. There it goes. Never mind that. I gotta say, with the Miz bleeding and Triple H bleeding, Stone Cold Steve Austin is looking very favorable right now. Side suplex takes down Austin.
Oh, jeez. Nice backdrop. Oh, and Triple H saw it coming. Ah.
Oh, what a neck breaker. There you go, Miz. All the damage to the torso. All the pain that's been dealt appears to have
Miz just keeps dropping Triple H on that neck of his. Last thing Triple H needs is another injury. Stone Cold Steve Austin looking to say goodnight to the Miz. Triple H breaks this up, there'd be only one reason. I guess he'd had enough of him being in the match. So the Miz has been eliminated, and of course the WWE Champion, the first to go. I had a bad feeling that was the way it would go for him. These guys hate him. Triple H drops him down. Is that gonna be enough? No. I know Stone Cold's pretty beaten up too, but come on now. Two of the all-time greats here on SmackDown, Triple H and Stone Cold Steve Austin, tying up with each other. A real treat of a match this is. I hope it doesn't end soon. Stone Cold Steve Austin locked in a submission hold. Are we going to see the end? The cameraman got so shaky, so nervous there. The idea of that being the end of the match.
The game. Ah, look at this.
backdrop.
Stone Cold stun. Oh no! Triple H reverses it, catches the head of Stone Cold Steve Austin, and the game wants to let everyone know he's back. Pedigree. That's got to be it. That's got to be enough. Triple H with a huge return victory. There it is. He is back, and he has got his sights set on becoming a two-time WWE Championship. The one title no one has held twice. What better man than the first man to have ever held it? Well, he's got 9 days to prepare. Apparently he's really good at recovering from busted open faces, so that's a good start. Triple H is victorious. He is headed to the Elimination Chamber. Next week, he's got to team up with the man he just pinned and his tag team partner, Shawn Michaels, to defeat The Miz, John Cena, and Mark Henry. But that's next week. This week, Triple H stands victorious on the road to Elimination Chamber. Thank you all for watching Friday Night SmackDown. I'll see you guys next week as we begin the final week before Elimination Chamber. Just 7 more days to go. Wow. Just 6 more days to go once Monday Night Raw comes in. So, yeah, see you guys then. Bye.